Hey, what's going on everybody? Diptesh here. Welcome back to the channel. So it seems like Asus has had a major breakthrough with the Asus ROG Ally in India. Like 80,000 units have been sold. Like I have always been fascinated about this device. Like I have come so close to buying it at several locations and then just saying to myself, okay, this is just a first generation product. I'll wait for the next generation. And it looks like Asus is coming out with a second generation Asus ROG Ally sometimes in the middle of this year. That was incredible news to me. I mean, this is what I was waiting for. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a few wish list features that I want to see in the Asus ROG Ally second generation. So let's talk about it. But before that, if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also, consider joining our Telegram community, link in the description. Engage in tech discussions, get reviews from other people, and also get alerted on the best tech deals the earliest. With that said, guys, let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, we do not know anything about this device, no idea on specifications and like anything. We just know that it has a high chance of coming out in the middle of this year. So we gotta wait for it. But here is my speculation regarding the chipset that is going to be in this device, and I think it's going to be the AMD Strix Point chipset. I at least hope so. Okay, I do not want to see the refreshed Hawk Point chips in this ROG Ally, which is the 8040HS or U series, which is basically, you know, Ryzen 7040 series just refreshed with a better AI unit. Okay, I don't want to see that because it's just the same in terms of the CPU and the GPU. What I would like to see is AMD's latest Zen 5 Strix Point APUs, which will probably be called as the 8050. 5 stands for Zen 5 and 8 stands for 2024. So 8050 U or H or HS series processors, okay, which is supposed to feature up to 12 cores with up to 16 compute units of RDNA 3.5 architecture. I feel including the Strix Point APUs is going to give you a much more value because of the upgrade in the iGPU performance, which will go from 12 compute units of RDNA 2 to 16 compute units of RDNA 3.5. So hoping for at least a 20 to 25% improvement in terms of raw gaming performance, you know, based on the 33% increase in compute unit count. So at least I hope there will be a 20 to 25% boost in terms of real in-game performance. My second wishlist item is probably not going to come, I think so, and that is inclusion of USB 4v2. We know that the Asus ROG Ally, the first generation model, features a USB-C port, but that is just a 10 gigabits per second USB 3.2 Gen 2 port. It is not a USB 4 40 gigabits per second port that you find in the Lenovo Legion Go, which also features Thunderbolt 3 backwards compatibility, right? I hope to see Asus implement the USB 4 V2 standard in the ROG Ally, which will give you up to 120 gigabits per second in single direction, while up to 80 gigabits per second bi-directional speed. And the biggest feature of the USB 4 V2 technology will be the tunneling of 4 lanes of PCIe 4.0, giving you effective bandwidth of 63 gigabits per second for external GPU setups. This is a major upgrade over Thunderbolt 3 and Thunderbolt 4, which is limited up to PCIe 3.0 times 4 lanes, giving you only 32 gigabits per second. So this is double of that, and that will make the use of external GPUs actually, you know, practical, because this is a huge improvement in terms of PCI tunneling. So I feel with the inclusion of USB 4 V2, you know, external GPU solutions is going to be much more practical, and that will just give you a huge benefit in terms of upgradability in the future if you wish to add external GPUs and wish to use, higher end GPUs, external desktop GPUs. That is something that is not possible with the ROG Ally. Yes, with the ROG Ally, you cannot add external desktop GPUs to the USB-C port because it is not Thunderbolt compatible, okay? That is available with the Lenovo Legion Go. That's one of the strengths of the Lenovo Legion Go. But again, the Lenovo Legion Go only has USB 4 version 1, which only allows PCIe 3.0 times 4 lanes, which only gives you like 32 gigabits per second bandwidth, which is not really enough for the high-end GPUs. So I feel Asus, I don't know whether Asus will include this or not, because Asus, you know, they have their own XG Mobile proprietary port with their proprietary laptop GPUs that they sell. I'm not saying they are a bad option. I mean, those GPUs that Asus sells in the XG Mobile, they are very compact, easy to carry around. Okay, it gives you a one cable solution for both power and performance. Okay, they are genuinely an innovative solution because of the size and portability. But the fact that you can't upgrade them is a major negative point. And the fact that USB 4v2 with 63 gigabits per second matches the bandwidth of the XG Mobile port, which is basically an Oculink port, which is modified by Asus. I think USB 4v2 is going to be an amazing addition to the ROG Ally 2. Asus, you can include your ROG XG Mobile port. That is completely fine, but please include the USB 4v2 port alongside it. I think it's going to be amazing and will help you sell more units than not. My third wishlist item is the inclusion of at least 32 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, 16 gigabytes of RAM is not enough. It's not going to be enough if you want to hold the device for a period of 3-4 years or so. I think 32 gigabytes of RAM absolutely future-proofs the ROG Ally, and I really hope to see at least a 32 gigabyte option. It would be fantastic if Asus could just make 32 gigabytes as the base variant. Okay, that would be like fantastic, but that's probably not going to happen. 32 gigabytes is probably going to be a additional more premium tier option, but at least I hope Asus sells a 32 gigabyte RAM option. My fourth wishlist item is the inclusion of a larger screen. Now, I'm not saying to make the device larger. Asus ROG Ally is the perfect size, but I feel there is still a lot of bezel space available for a larger screen to fit in. I mean, that's what the Steam Deck did with its OLED upgrade. They fit a larger screen in the same size, and I think Asus can do the same. Fifth wishlist item is simple: include a larger battery. MSI Claw has able to fit a 53 Wh battery in a size which is almost the same as the ROG Ally, so I have no doubt that Asus will be able to do the same, at least include a 50 Wh battery on the Asus ROG Ally 2nd gen. Sixth wishlist item, and that is pretty clear, to fix the position of the SD card slot. It was a major flaw with the Asus ROG Ally Gen 1, with many SD card slots becoming so hot that it is like frying the SD card and just destroying it. So definitely Asus needs to fix this faulty, you can call it a fault or a flawed placement of the SD card slot. So I hope Asus improves this, puts it in a different location which is away from the heat, and also try to include a fast SD card slot as fast as possible in the price range. Seventh wishlist item is the fact that if Asus can include a 2280 sized SSD slot instead of the 2230 size, because 2230 SSDs are much more expensive than 2280 size SSDs. So a full size 2280 SSD slot would be pretty amazing, although I think it will be highly unlikely. And my eighth and final wishlist item is try to keep the same $700 US price tag. Maximum $720, $730. Going up to $750 and beyond would be pretty expensive and hard to justify for a handheld device. So $700 or maybe $720 for the 32 GB RAM variant. I hope Asus will be able to stick to as close to $700 as possible. So guys, those were my wishlist item for the Asus ROG Ally 2. The three main features that I would really love to see is the addition of the new Strix Point APUs instead of the Hawk Point APUs, the addition of USB 4v2, and the addition of 32 gigabytes of RAM. These three features I would really love to see provided by Asus. So let's see what happens. Do let me know your thoughts on the Asus ROG Ally version 2. What do you think is going to be included by Asus? What do you think is going to be upgraded? Okay, and do let me know if you use an Asus ROG Ally and how has your experience been. So yeah, with that said guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Also join the Telegram community, link in the description, and take care. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.